Alright, well that's taken care of. That was a satisfying little... That one was less brain intensive and more just amusing and fun. That was sort of like a gimmicky maze garden, which is fun. You're supposed to frolic in a maze garden, right? You're not supposed to be agonizing over it. That's what the maze gardens are for. Long walks where you have a conversation with your friends and stuff like that. So having a fun little trick in each one to just solve real quick is cute enough. So what's down here? This gate is closed. This guy does not want me to go through this gate, apparently. Wow, look at this guy, all Secret Service looking. He's got a sword, though. So he's wearing a suit like a Secret Service agent with the earbud and all, but he has a sword. These kings I'm going to see down here are going to look a little weirder than I thought they did. I thought they would, won't they? Let's see, is there another path over here? So that's locked off. And you can't go there. This is going to be interesting. This has the weird vibe of the real life element of maze mixed with modern elements. Oh yeah, that's like all glass, maybe even plastic with metal girders as opposed to the other side. Does this represent... I'm sorry, are we just talking about the progression of technology by forming this environment? We have a maze garden with earthly elements and regular old wood craftsmanship and cobblestone, and then the other side is metal staircases leading to metal girders and somebody with an earpiece. And we immediately have a control panel, which is completely foreign to the concept of everything that came before, except for the fact that like usual, the puzzles were connected by wires. Wait, did I already have access to this place? Was this already open? I may have just not looked in this direction, but I don't remember. I almost feel like there was a wall in the way at some point, but I could have made that up and just wanted to solve this place intuitively anyway. But yeah, the other side of this garden has a totally different environment. Hey, you guys. They're wearing fencing clothes. It almost looks like they're supposed to just be dueling, but that person looks like they're just gonna get straight up executed. No more fun to be had here. Hello, you. Let's take a look at the environment a little more. Whoa. What happened? Whoa. There's no starting point on this maze. You just press them. Okay. The question is, what's the solution then, though? Let's just try to go up towards the, front area and see when it tells me I've done something wrong. You can just keep pressing them? So now it's just nonsense. So this is the starting point, right? That has to be the starting point because it has the big knob on it. Do I just need to walk from one side to the other? How do I reset this is what I'm wondering right now. Do I just press everything? What happens then? What happens if I press everything? Alright, whole maze is highlighted. Nothing has been accomplished. Can't press it. Okay, there must be a reset somewhere around here. Do I have to just slice that person's throat and then it resets? That's how mazes work. Hello, King. How you doing? You just hanging out, looking at your ring? Another Secret Service agent, like some kind of bouncer type guy? Two people that look like they might not be allowed in? Huh. So so after the first mistake, I think I understand what I'm supposed to do here, but I don't... Oh, there we go. I didn't even see that at first. Okay, so I believe I'm supposed to try to go run around and touch everything, right? So we're gonna go up to the vertex, loop around. I mean, up to the interruption, loop around, then come back the opposite direction, over one. Let's see if I can remember that long enough without making any mistakes. So we're gonna try to grab both of those things. I'm trying to make the maze impossible by retracing our steps on accident. This game keeps getting weirder. And I'm on board with that. Okay. Let's revisit real quick. Do I want to go left? I mean, do I want to change direction? It might not matter. Okay. I had a moment of uncertainty. Got it. That was a good sound. Let's go admire our handiwork. Yeah, there you go. You just solved the maze on foot now. This game keeps finding new tricks. I mean, they had a lot of time to think of them, I'm sure. Hey, you guys, how you doing? Just hanging out? You do you. Now we're doing one of these. Oh, this could involve a lot of mechanics I don't know yet after this part. So here we just want to separate the two. So this is the starting point, and there's the exit, so it matches the map. So I just want to go forward. Oh, but it's broken over there, isn't it? That's where things get complicated. Okay. So the gimmick here is that it's a very simple puzzle, but you can only... The problem is that the parts of the maze are broken, so you can't do it correctly. The obvious solution is to walk forward over here and just go across, and then the two are separated and you win. But there's a broken component right there, so you can't do that. You'd have to go this way, because that's broken right there. So you have to go around, and at that point you'd be grouping them. So instead, I think what I'm going to do is try to... Let's see. I think I'm going to try to go down the middle more, and just try to loop around them to cut them off, basically. And do the other on the same on the other side. It'll be easier to start doing it. It'll be easier just to do it, and see how that works. So this point and that point are both white, and those are white. Those are black. So I want to cut off these two white ones and wrap around them to isolate them while I loop behind the black ones. And I don't have to loop the black ones to all be together, I just need to separate them. So these two black ones are separated from those two white ones. Now I just need to find a path to do the same thing on the other side. So over there it's unbroken. Is any of it broken over there? It doesn't... None of it looks broken. But I also have to do it in a manner where I can make it back to the exit. So... Oh yeah, I have to be very careful about how I choose to loop around these things, because I have to also leave a path to the exit. Because if I do the same thing I just did here on this side, over on the opposite side, I just won't have access to the way out. And that would be bad. So I'm thinking what I can do here... I can't loop around them, but what if I went and hit the wall? That would cut off the connection, and then I can just go solve it. And I think I will have then created 4 separate segments for all the corners where none of them are actually overlapping with each other. I think that's the right path. Be careful not to step on anything. I don't want to. So I have to go forward over one. What do you mean? Nothing, apparently. Just some poured tar. So we loop around the... Damn it. That was me making a mistake. That was me going one step too far. I was so careful, too. I thought I might nail this one on my first try. But I just had to go a little too far. Probably got a little too into the answer and just went too fast without thinking about my exact step. So we don't go to the corner, because that'll cut us off. We go here. And now there's the black. And there's the black. And there's the... It's cut off from the white by that corner here, but then this black is cut off from this white by hitting the wall, and this white's going to be cut off from this black by me going across. That's the correct sound. Good. What happens if Cool, it disables itself? I don't have to worry about messing up my maze. What's your deal? Maybe more air holes? The moment they give me a side area, I have to walk around in it, right? There's the weird, ruined shipwreck. There's clouds that continue to hint at themselves, making me think that they're somehow going to be involved in something. Looking for connections. I don't see a maze out the window. That's all water, so it's especially unlikely to be something like that. Unless I can click on that piece of cloud sticking up. So over here I can actually... Looks like I'll get to be able to see a top-down view of the next maze. Hello, you. I wonder what the trick is going to be over there. We'll have to see the control panel first anyway, I guess. I fully expect this part of the castle to hit a point where we're using mazes that are outside of my comprehension. Looks like this is how you go down to the shipwreck. There's a whole meadow area over here. Hello. There's an illuminated chunk of sand that almost might serve as some kind of maze if you can find an endpoint in it. Let's contemplate this part for a moment. Just sort of clicking around a little bit. I don't see a starting point for a maze from here. So it may not be anything. But it certainly looks like it could be something. Any of these rocks could be in the middle of a crater of their own that could count as the starting point. Maybe not, though. This one looks oddly like a squid. In fact, with all the ways the ripples come out from that central point, it makes this all look like an octopus. Yeah, not squid. Octopus rock with all the tentacles coming off of it. Maybe it's just a little bit of fun little ocean art they made, as opposed to part of a puzzle. Ooh, that just keeps going down. Alright, so here's the next puzzle. I believe I have... Yep, this is where this was going to lead me. That looks like a dead end that doesn't amount to anything. I thought he was a thief for a second there, but this is probably the guy that works the gardens and keeps them trimmed in this way. And ruined that one puzzle earlier by making it not match the panel. Oh, yeah. Here we go. So here we get to the Tetris pieces. So I've gone so much like the city, I've now gone as far as I can in this particular location with the knowledge I have right now. And there's some places where you could be expected to learn stuff right on the spot, but I specifically believe that the Tetris pieces, the weird block things, have their own dedicated zone. And we'll be able to expand on the central town location and this crazy castle live puzzle area when we do that. Let's check out down here instead. Hello? Couch? I was checking to see if they lost an audio log in the couch cushions or something. So there's girders and debris. Oh, I see you. You ain't getting past me. Unless you do, because a lot of you do. I think I have to be up there to get the right angle. Because oh, missed it. I think we're at a slightly off angle at the moment. But I can probably line them up just right with the right perspective to make it look more circle-shaped. Or not. That did not really improve things, did it? Huh. Well, I was on top of that wall earlier. So maybe being all the way up top is actually the better perspective. There is the hole in the wall here. Is there another one over here? In just the right spot? See, now I've gone too far. It's like right here past the tree, isn't it? Where it gets in the right position. You're gonna agonize me for a little bit, aren't you? Alright. So can I climb the rocks back here and the trees? Or can I even walk through these trees? I feel like getting a slightly higher point that's sort of a midpoint between where we have been and where we could go could be it. Can I stand on you? Can't stand on that. Oh. Oh, it's so close to working. It's gotten so close to working. Yeah, there's the sound saying, "You're doing it! You're doing it!" But we're not doing it at the moment. Like right here in particular is when it mostly lines up. But there's the obvious hole in the middle, so like the left side lines up when I stand here, but the bottom part does not. So then if I try to slide back though, to make the bottom part line up, the rest doesn't. Is there some sort of orange? I don't think I can make the couch cushion do it. I'm trying to think of if there's a way to make some orange thing in the environment line up in the missing gap. That may be some wishful thinking there. Is there another thing to line it up with? Is that a red herring? I'm feeling a little crazy at the moment. It's so close. Like, this is what happens when you line up the bottom more or less. I can't line it up more because there's a couch in the way. Stand behind the couch. Nope. I definitely feel like I'm millimeters away from getting this lined up correctly. Let's look around for a little while. Because I think I've exhausted the positions I can stand in right there. I wonder if there's some other element I can use. I don't see anything I could get in the way. That may be one I just come back to later and solve, and it's not that big of a deal. But I don't want to bang my head against it for too long. Hello, obelisk. That's the one we didn't see earlier, the one that stuff was going towards, and I didn't see where they were going. There's the debris. There we go. We're on a big rusted up hole of a ship. I wonder if this is going to have puzzles or if it's just going to be debris. I assume it's going to have puzzles because I think everything does. Why else would they make anything in this world, basically? Oh yeah, even the ropes are all nasty. Yeah, don't cut yourself on this ship, right? This part's all coppered out. It's always disorienting walking on something that's at a tilt like this. Bringing me back to Soma a little bit. Okay, so there's light leaking through in a way that resembles mazes to some extent. To the point where I wonder if that's going to be what plays in here. Oh yeah. That is a very deliberate tear in the hull, and that looks like a starting point that you could drag around. But I think you need a better perspective or something. Hey, you. Right here? How about here? Nope. Alright. There we go. They're a little finicky with some of these. Of where exactly you need to stand. There's one. Two. Three. That's three on the ship. That'll help make up for the one I couldn't get a second ago. Now I wonder if looking down through the ground, through some of these holes, could somehow lead to another layer of puzzle down there. Some of those down there look a little less conjoined. Huh. Oh, walking into a beam. Gotta orient myself on this tilted ship. Hey, you! It's one of you guys. Okay, so your starting point is right here. Does this contradict my rule? See, in my rule, I was thinking that you need to go... I was thinking that the moment you enter the proximity of one of these things, you just have to go in the direction they were going in. But now, that's impossible, because it's on the other side of a bend, and the exit's over there. So, that's the solution. So do you need to exit them going in that direction? I'm starting to worry a little bit about these things. So, like, I could just go in some other direction and it will not work, right? Yeah. So I'm starting to worry that maybe... And at some point I'll have to figure it out regardless, but at the moment I'm definitely concerned that I'm just solving these because they're so simple and have so few options, instead of because I actually know how to solve them. Which is not the greatest. But at some point, if they're leading up to something, I assume that eventually there'll be a more complicated one where I will have to figure it out, and that'll be when I finally have the realization of why I've been succeeding at those. Because right now, it's definitely just that there's so few paths to take that the solution's very easy to find. Is that a tree fort? Ah, there's tree houses. Oh, it's like a bayou, I believe. The swamplands with these weird trees that are like strangely above ground looking. They're really odd. I assume it's because they probably grow in the ground, and then the ground probably kind of leaves them behind a bit as it erodes. Because those are very silty, clay sort of environments where the ground just isn't hard and everything's soggy all the time. So what's down here? Are there puzzles involved here besides environment ones? Like panels? It'd be a little weird because it's like a crashed ship, so maybe that'd be a decent reason for there not to be any panel puzzles. I definitely feel like there's an opening for me to not see things around here. Let's see. Can I walk on any? I can't walk on the girder over there. From here I don't see anything. Some of this stuff looks suspiciously maze-like, but I don't see something to click on that would be draggable at the moment. What about over here? More conveniently left panels to help you traverse the area. More beautiful reflections. Oh man, that tree is my nightmare. It's one of those trees where all the branches look like they end in fists, and those patterns you inherently would try to click on in this game because they all are shaped like the ends of mazes. Don't see much going on at the moment. Hello? Oh. Nope, just some cracks. Just obsessively looking at everything now. Sweet. Now we're getting creepy sounds to signify how unsettling this setting is. Some loud, echoing water drop sounds. There's debris down there and a grating. Oh, hello. That sure looks like a puzzle to me. Maybe probably from up there, huh? Yeah, that's gotta be something. Let's look around here, though. This sounds really cool, by the way. Off-putting and hostile sounding, perhaps, but also really good sound. The echoes and everything. A lot of rope around here. We're not getting across here. We'll check the other staircase if we want to go upstairs. Hello? This place is probably just riddled with the environmental mazes. Like you. I bet that you connect to a hoop somewhere. We'll have to see. This place is decimated. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a green hoop up there somewhere. Maybe even on the other side of that piece of metal there. Either way, I don't see much else going on right here. There's so many details to stare at to see if they do something. Hello.
A shipowner was about to send to sea an emigrant ship. He knew that she was old and not well built at the first, that she had seen many seas and climes, and often had needed repairs. Doubts had been suggested to him that possibly she was not seaworthy. These doubts preyed upon his mind and made him unhappy. He thought that perhaps he ought to have her thoroughly overhauled and refitted, even though this should put him at great expense. Before the ship sailed, however, he succeeded in overcoming these melancholy reflections. He said to himself that she had gone safely through so many voyages and weathered so many storms that it was idle to suppose she would not come safely home from this trip also. He would put his trust in Providence, which could hardly fail to protect all these unhappy families that were leaving their fatherland to seek for better times elsewhere. He would dismiss from his mind all ungenerous suspicions about the honesty of builders and contractors. In such ways, he acquired a sincere and comfortable conviction that his vessel was thoroughly safe and seaworthy. He watched her departure with a light heart and benevolent wishes for the success of the exiles in their strange new home that was to be. And he got his insurance money when she went down in mid-ocean and told no tales. What shall we say of him? Surely this, that he was verily guilty of the death of those families. It is admitted that he did sincerely believe in the soundness of his ship, but the sincerity of his conviction can in no wise help him, because he had no right to believe on such evidence as was before him. He had acquired his belief not by honestly earning it in patient investigation, but by stifling his doubts. And although in the end he may have felt so sure about it that he could not think otherwise, yet inasmuch as he had knowingly and willingly worked himself into that frame of mind, he must be held responsible for it. William K. Clifford, 1874.
There's a dark story for you, huh? Talking about never fully getting rid of your own doubts because of the power they may hold, and the fact that doubts are what keep you from making terrible mistakes or sticking to convictions without proper reason. Bam. And finding a puzzle while we're at it. Yeah, I am a big proponent of doubt, which is inherently a problematic thing in some circles because doubt is treated as being literally the devil in, well, things that have a thing that is called the devil, basically. It's problematic. And one of the ways I apply that is basically like, oh man, we are in the world of Facebook and social media where people just shout stuff all day and everyone's mad about something all the time. And oftentimes just assuming that something's probably either wrong or partially incorrect leads to you doing a little bit of research about the thing that everyone's shouting about, and then suddenly you have a wildly different conclusion on the entire topic based on completely different information that none of them have because they're just taking something at face value and just assuming that the people that they already trust are right about something, or assuming that things are working out in a way that fits the way they already look at the world. And by making assumptions like this, and just putting faith in certain things, you fail to be analytical about something and notice the ways in which it can contradict the way you look at everything. And that's important, because that's how you grow. That's how you look at things properly. There might be more mazes around here, but I'm relatively satisfied with my completion of it at the moment. I reached the end of the boat. I don't think I saw a way to get to the next chunk of boat, which might have had a maze on it also, but I didn't see one. So I think I'm ready to move on for now. But I might come back. I mean, if there is something here, I will come back. There's no might there. I'm just saying I might because I don't know yet if I've missed something. I'm gonna go stare at this little pain in the ass a little longer and figure out how I'm missing it still. Oh, hello. There's an audio log hidden behind the gardener. I'm up here trying to get another perspective on the orange thing still. It's not quite working out at the moment. Hello, you.
If a man, holding a belief which he was taught in childhood or persuaded of afterwards, keeps down and pushes away any doubts which arise about it in his mind, purposely avoids the reading of books and the company of men that call into question or discuss it, and regards as impious those questions which cannot easily be asked without disturbing it, the life of that man is one long sin against mankind. But, says one, I am a busy man. I have no time for the long course of study which would be necessary to make me in any degree a competent judge of certain questions, or even able to understand the nature of the arguments, then he should have no time to believe. William K. Clifford, 1874.
I kind of love these audio logs, but they're definitely the type of thing that's somewhat inflammatory for some people. I'm losing my mind here. This thing. Watch me find out that's not even a puzzle, and it's specifically not one. It probably lines up just right when you're over here, basically. But I don't think I can't click on it if I can't see it. It's the rule we've established. And the wall's in the way for the entire middle part where it lines up perfectly. Which is agonizing. And I don't think there's a way to see through the wall. Or is there? Okay, let's take a look at that, first of all, before I keep looking at this. Is there a hole in the wall over here? There's kind of a hole up there, but I don't know if you can see through that. They're kind of cruel about this. This tree is in the way at the exact angle where you'd be able to see that thing when it's fully formed at the right distance. You have to be like right here on the where it's basically practically where the tree is standing to some extent. But I don't think the game has a mechanic for knocking down trees. Or any way to get past this issue. And you can't see it from down here because you're too close to the front one. You need to be standing at a distance where they almost conform to being on the same plane. We may have to come back to this one. Well, I finally had the thought of, what if I'm on top of this wall? But that does not appear to offer me the perspective I'm looking for either. Alright, we'll come back to that one. I don't want to stare at it for too long.